I'm Kelly from Myofascial and Sports Therapy. So following on from a couple of days ago, we're going to go into some Yin Yoga poses again today. I'll put a little sequence together that works the hamstrings, glutes and adductors. So we'll flow from one through to the other. So the things that you can have, some props if you've got them, blocks, and I know most people won't have a bolster, so that's okay. You can use cushions, that's fine. You can use rolled up towels or small pillows, no problem at all. So let's move down onto the floor. So we're going to start with the hamstrings. So we're going to move into a half butterfly pose. So sitting up with the legs out straight, we're going to do the right leg to start with. So keeping this leg nice and straight, bending up that left leg and using whatever size you've got that's appropriate to go under that left knee. So remembering that with, or if you're new to Yin Yoga, is that muscles are totally passive when we're going to the poses and we're looking to work with the fascia. So we want this left leg, these muscles not working, just getting a relax. It's not about having your foot right up here. You can have that at a bit of distance and just placing that underneath the knee. If you've got a bolster or a cushion, pillow, you can rest on that as you fold forward. But the idea is that as we come forward, we're going to get a stretch in that right hamstring. You might need to make slight little adjustments so that you feel it in that area. So just folding forward. Now, as you do that, taking a big breath in, and as you breathe out, just trying to settle those sit bones nice and evenly on the floor, relaxing the hamstring, the glutes, the lower back, and folding forward. Now, you might need to have something to fold forward onto. You might get a bit of a better stretch. And we're only going to the very first point of stretch. We're not going to end range. So with our Yin Yoga poses, you can hold them for 3 to 5 minutes. We'll do a much shorter time today. And once you lose that stretch, you can just fold forward a little more. So it may be that if you've got a prop, move that forward so that you can hinge through that back, coming forward to feel that new stretch sensation. And taking a big breath in. Breathing it all out, bring yourself out of that position and straightening those legs out. You might like to have a little bit of a shake out before we move to the left hand side. So when you're ready, keeping that left leg straight, bending that right leg up and placing something underneath. And when you're ready, folding forward into the other side. Now you might find that you've got a lot more range or you might be a lot more restricted. That's totally fine. Work with where your body is at today. Now, if your hamstrings are quite tight and you normally find that's an issue to be in this position, what you could do is sit on something small. So just coming up, just lifting yourself up. You don't have to fold forward a lot. And again, once you find that position, taking that big breath in, and as you breathe out, just sinking down into the ground, through the glutes, through that pelvis, folding forward until you get a stretch in that left hamstring. So it might be at a very different spot to the other leg, and that's okay. And taking a big breath in, breathing it all out, and bringing yourself up out of that position, straightening those legs out. If you're sitting on something, just take that out. A little bit of a shake. So we're going to move into a stretch for the glutes. So it's called a deer pose. So keeping our right leg straight to start with, bending that left leg behind, taking that right foot towards that left knee. They don't have to be touching, you can have some distance. And then we're going to fold forward so that we're getting a stretch through that right glute. If the upper body is out to the side, you'll lose the stretch. As you bring the upper body back across, that should increase the stretch. If you've got pillows, you can fold forward onto that because you may not be able to reach the floor, so you may be up a lot higher. If you're up here too, that's fine, as long as you're getting a stretch in that glute. So once you've found that position, just taking a big breath in, and as you breathe out, sink down into the floor. So relax that glute, hamstrings, the left leg. You can drop your head down. So with all of our Yin Yoga poses, we're working to go to that first point of feeling, of sensation. And once you get there, you might like to focus on what you're feeling within the body, where the tension areas are, or you might like to focus on your breathing. And taking a big breath in, breathing it all out, bringing yourself up out of that position, straightening those legs out. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to the other side. So bending that right leg behind, bringing the left foot towards the right knee. And I'll use a bolster this time to fold forward onto. So as I come forward, I'm just going to fold onto here. And once you've found that position, as you breathe out, just relax and sink down into the floor. So if you find that you're jamming in this hip, you can straighten that leg out a bit. You might even bring that up here. So you're always looking to stay on that stretch barrier, that sensation of feeling. And taking a big breath in, breathing it all out, and bringing yourself back upright. So if you're doing this at home yourselves, you can definitely stay in these positions longer. The last one we're going to do today is moving into the adductors. So for the groin muscles, the inside of the leg. So sitting up, we're going to move those feet out to find a stretch through here. Now you might want a pillow or a bolster, something that you've got, and you can fold forward. You might need to rotate those feet out so that can increase the stretch. If you don't have a lot of movement through the back, you can put something and use a foam roller even, put it on its end and just come forward and hug that. Sometimes you don't need a lot of movement, a lot of forward movement through the back. So once you've found that position, just taking a big breath in, and as you breathe out, relaxing down through the thighs, through the back, sinking down into that pose. So this is called dragonfly. And if you lose the stretch, you can just shuffle those feet a little further out or rotate those hips out. So try and make sure that you're getting a nice even feel through both adductors. So just check in constantly as you're breathing out, make sure that you're keeping all of these legs relaxed. And taking a big breath in, breathing it all out, and bringing yourself up slowly, bringing those legs together. You might have a little bit of a shake out. So you can do this as a standalone sequence, or you can add it onto our restful sleep. And we really hope that you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.